All right, what is going on, Lions fans? Yes, the Lions Den is here to take our medicine. We're going to talk about the divisional game last night against the Washington Commanders. Let's get into it. All right, son. It was not what we were hoping for. Our boys took it on the chin last night, 45-31 against the Washington Commanders.
Mhm.
There's a lot of finger pointing going on between Lions fans. It was this person's fault. It was that person's fault. This didn't happen. That didn't happen. Before we break down each sides of the ball, what's your initial thoughts of the game yesterday?
My initial thoughts, honestly, my initial thoughts were that the Lions had just got straight up outplayed. I think they got outplayed on all sides of the ball. Um, I don't they don't really give off Colorado vibes to me, so I don't really mind the swagger and the celebrations because you would have to be kind of dumb to think that the Commanders weren't good. So I don't think that they were going into the game too cocky, but I don't know. It kind of seemed, in my opinion, it's kind of what the old saying, it was clear the Commanders wanted to win the game really bad, and they made it clear. Danny Daniels didn't make a mistake. I mean, he did not make a mistake. Like not that I saw, but yeah, those are my, and that's all I got. No one made a mistake. I mean, we're not realizing that corner was I was actually it's actually amazing how good that corner did. That you know what I'm talking about, number 0 for them. That
Yes,
dude is
yes.
Mike Sancho or something. He's different. Like they outplayed us. So
Yeah, I'm gonna go there too, son. Sitting around at the game yesterday, listening to people talk all around me, and getting on Twitter/X today, listening to people talk. I agree with you. I believe in the old saying, you got to give credit where credit is due. Now, I will touch on that about the celebrations. I did get a little annoyed earlier with a guy on X because he was talking about how the Amon St. Brown, particularly, he called out and said that dude is always doing his celebrations, his whipping with the belt celebrations. So I fired back and said, do you have that same energy when Justin Jefferson does that gritty every time he scores a touchdown?
yeah, exactly. It's swagger.
And that was annoying, and one guy actually responded before me and told the dude was like, bro, like every wide receiver that's ever played, maybe except Jerry Rice, always had that, they always swag like that, or he always did something when he scored. They've always had that. Why all of a sudden is St. Brown doing it and you're just annoyed? But that is what it is. So let's start out, son, by actually, you know what? Before we get into our thoughts, let's listen. I haven't listened to Coach his press conference. We're not going to do the whole 7 minutes and 30 seconds I'm looking at, but let's do a little bit of Coach Dan Campbell's press conference and see what he was talking about and maybe get some thoughts on this.
Credit those guys. They played well over there. Dan Quinn did a hell of a job. They've had a really good season, but they earned that. They earned that win, and we didn't. So we didn't. We just didn't play good enough. And really we never complimented each other. Felt that way going at halftime, and it really never got better. So you come out 3 and out on offense, but then your defense gives you life. You stop them on downs, you get the ball back, you go down and score a touchdown. Defense holds them, limits points. We come back, we turn the ball over. You have a chance to go up 14-3, and so that was where the beginning of it started. And so you need a stop, you don't get a stop. When we do get a stop, we turn the ball over. So we just didn't compliment each other. And it was it's just, as everybody knows, you turn the ball over 5 times and the last one's whatever. So call it 4. That's fine. It's just too much. It's too hard against a team like that to come back. And we tried, we just couldn't quite get over the hump. We knew if we could just pull it within 1 score, we'd have a chance here. We just could not get over the hump.
Okay, I'm gonna jump in right there, son. So, Coach Dan Campbell does not sound like he was making any type of excuses for the loss. I know a lot of people felt like maybe we, them, us, whoever was making lots of excuses. What's your thoughts on what you just first couple of minutes of what you heard Coach Dan Campbell say?
I mean, yeah, I mean, I guess in my opinion, he kind of, I mean, I don't know. I think he just stated the obvious. Yeah, they didn't compliment each other. So
Hmm.
what happens when you don't compliment each other? You need someone to take over the game, and you have to have some superstar factor. We've been saying this for so long. You
Hmm.
have to have somebody that can say, "Forget this. I'm going to take over." We just saw Saquon Barkley take over. He's been doing it all year. He
Right.
just takes over the game. You can't like like you know what I'm saying? You can't make
Yes.
him do that. Like it's not like they have the best line in the league. You can't make him bounce twice out and run 65 yards down the field.
Right.
Like someone has to make a play. I don't know what to say. You got people, Jameson Williams throwing bad, throwing into double coverage. Jared Goff is doing the same thing, strip
Mhm.
sacks. Like it's like you said, yeah, no one complimented each other, and then no one stepped up really either. And then the people that did step up, it was too late, like Jameer Gibbs and Brian Branch. So that's too late. Like it wasn't enough, basically.
Yeah. I agree with you on that. All right, let's do this. 31 points. Let's start out with the Lions offense, son. I'm gonna bring the stats up on the board right here. Let's start with quarterback Jared Goff. 23 of 40, 313, three interceptions, sacked twice. We know he also had a fumble. What was your thoughts on quarterback Jared Goff? Let's just say before that big hit he took and after that big hit he took.
Um. Uh okay, that's tough to break it down like that
Mhm.
because it seems like before the big hit, it was what was it? Were we down? It was 24. Was it 24-20
Let me think.
or 24-14?
It was 20. That sounds about right. That
Okay, it's hard for me. Sorry, because I was hyped up in the game, so it's hard for me to like break it down
right.
like
I
that.
know. I got you.
To be honest, I don't think he was playing good at all. Like, I guess I'm not gonna lie. I'm trying to like. I think he was off the whole time. Did
Mhm.
he not throw another pick before that?
He
They-
threw. No, no. I'm sorry. I can. You know what, son? I'm right there with you because I was there at the game. I can
Yeah,
break it down for you. This is what happened. The play where he got blew up. That was the play that he threw his first pick. That was the one where he overthrew Tim Patrick. So
yeah.
that'll give you an idea.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, uh, I don't know what to say. I mean, I just thought he just played all right. It was one of his worst games of the season.
Mhm.
Like, there's nothing to say. It's just like I'm not trying to get frustrated. It's just like people like are talking about it's the defense and stuff, but we already knew the defense was going to play bad.
Right.
Jared Goff, like you can't be looking at. Well, first of all, his stats don't help him either. But like, it's not like he played good. This happens all the time. Now it's been 3 seasons now of him like overthrowing people and not making the right plays sometimes
Mhm.
in that little like the things that are little, but it's actually really big. That's really all I can say.
Correct.
So
Correct.
I
I
don't know.
got you.
I don't think the hit helps anything, but I think it would have been the same result.
Yeah, yeah, and you know what, son, I'm gonna jump in on that and agree with you 100%. I expected Washington to score 31 points. You want me to be honest with you? I,
Yeah,
I thought the Lions would win this game something like 38-31,
exactly what I
42-31,
thought.
something like how they won, to be honest with you. I was expecting the opposite score. I was expecting Washington to score 31 points. And for any people who think that the Lions Den over here have something against young Jaden Daniels, we both always thought that he was the real deal, and we thought going.
Yeah,
You got to listen to our other shows if you don't if you never heard us say it. We've always thought Jaden Daniels was the real deal, and we were concerned when we saw that we were playing them. So
yeah,
we weren't two of the Lions fans who were like, oh, we got this rookie quarterback. No, we thought Jaden Daniels might be a problem, and guess what?
yeah,
He proved to be a problem.
yep.
So that's kind of what it is. Something I want to touch on with this running game, son, but I'm gonna let you go first. What did you think about the running game? If you see the stats on the screen
It's
right there,
good.
what was your thoughts on the run game?
It was good. It was so good that you kind of have to question. Like they probably should have just went straight old school and actually literally just should have. I don't care what the score is. They probably should have just gave it to Jameer Gibbs straight up,
Yep.
like the Eagles did with Saquon Barkley. We complain Jalen Hurts is throwing checkdowns. It works. Just
Right.
do that. Just throw checkdowns to Jameer Gibbs. Hand it to Jameer Gibbs. That's what was working. Let him work. Throw it to him in the middle of the field. Let him juke out some linebackers. That's what they should have
Right.
done. They should have just stuck with that.
I agree.
Um, yeah, the running game was good.
So I'm trying to remember who it was against, man. My memory is slipping me, but in the 91 season, our second greatest season ever, because I would say this is our first. I'm trying to remember who we were playing, but I remember in the fourth quarter, it was a game the Lions were behind. We went 12-4 that year. It was a game that we were behind on, and the Lions came back and won. And it was something that happened in that game that I remember very clearly. I remember watching the game, and then I remember later that night I was watching NFL Primetime with Chris Berman, and it was something that that Lions team did, and exactly what you just said. When the Lions needed a score and they needed something to happen, guess what they kept doing? Barry Sanders, Barry Sanders, Barry Sanders. I'm talking almost every play. They gave Barry Sanders the ball on handoff to the left, handoff to the right, draw plays, swing out of the backfield. It was Barry Sanders the whole way. Give me the ball, I'm gonna get us this win. It was that type of game. Jahmyr Gibbs was having that game. I mean, look at this, son. I mean, he averaged 7.5 yards a carry. I agree with you. They should have stuck with that run game in the rounds or doing something. Instead, we went with the pass game, which I know has got us out of things before, and
We
just didn't get us back in the game. Speaking of which, what was your thought? We talked about Jared Goff. What do you think about our
It's
receivers?
the same stuff we've been saying since last year. We need another receiver. Like,
Yes, we
look
do.
at this. No
Yeah.
offense, but like, what? Jahmyr Gibbs is the dude with the second most yards. And then Sam Laporta, Cleve Raymond, Jameis Williams, look, he got locked down. I didn't even realize that. That corner was locking up. We need another receiver. Like, we said this last
Right.
year. It's
We
like the
did.
same stuff. We need a defense. Well, we'll talk about the defense in a second. And they need a receiver. I actually don't even understand how we scored that many points still. I mean, it just shows you that I guess Ben Johnson is a good coordinator because I don't know how we put up those many points. It's
Yeah.
crazy to me.
Yeah, we
Like,
definitely need another receiver, and we need a number two tight end. Not that Laporta really goes out of the game, but sometimes it's good to have that extra receiving threat in there. Okay,
yeah,
let's move on to the defense. The defense gave up 45 points. Let's pull the stats up right here. You see Jaden Daniels' numbers: 22 of 31, 299. So look, the thing that sticks out to me: 0 interceptions, 0 sacks.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
Like you said,
mhm.
we were talking earlier. I mean, it's really hard to not like we were basically playing with four stringers anyways, but it doesn't help when you're not really getting well, not really, you're not getting any pressure at all, and you're just letting Jaden Daniels chill out in the pocket and doing what he wants. And that's the same exact thing because they played the Packers, right? Yeah, in the first round.
The Commanders,
Yeah.
they play the Buccaneers.
Oh, I'm tripping. Okay. Either
Mhm.
way, I watched the game. That's the same thing that was happening in the Buccaneers game. So
Mhm.
I don't know what to say. If you let any guy just sit around in the pocket, someone's like you said, someone's going to get open. But it
Yeah,
wasn't even that, to be honest, because it's not like they were just taking a ton of big shots. They were scheming people to get open. I mean, they were putting people in formations to get open. And
yeah,
in my opinion, they were running really simple plays that
yes,
were just working.
yes, exactly. Dan Quinn had a beautiful, or I don't know who the offensive coordinator is, but they had a beautiful game plan. I'm telling you, son. Well, you watched the game. Jaden Daniels was getting that ball out pretty quick. Now there were times that Jaden Daniels stood back in the pocket, but you know how I do, son. When I watch football, every time the ball snaps, whether it's us with the ball or the other team, I always start counting my head: 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000. That's how I can always remember how long guys held onto the ball. Jaden Daniels sometimes had 5 and 6 seconds to throw the ball, and guys like and some of his receivers, I'm saying Dotson. I'm sorry, I said Dotson. I mean McLaurin. That's what I was thinking about. And Brown, like McLaurin is fast. You cannot let a guy like that. It's hard to cover. I'm gonna give our corners a little bit of slack. You can't ask them to cover guys like that for 5, 6 seconds. You
Yeah.
have to get some type of pass rush. And if you look at our defense, remember you and I talked earlier, son. Look at the top three guys. Remember the guys I said that played well? Jack Campbell, 14 tackles, Anzalone, 13 tackles, Branch, 11 tackles.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying, I mean, guys filled up the stat sheet, but if you look at it, I mean, we got no pressure on him. Zadarius Smith, Nowaski,
Zero.
Reader. I'm going up to
One.
Muhammad, even though Muhammad had a big
One.
play earlier. No pressure on the young quarterback.
Yeah.
And for any of you guys who want to say, hey, don't make excuses about the injuries, I want you to look at where my mouse is right now. Maurice Norris. This guy came in at safety when Melifonwu got hurt.
Yeah.
Maurice Norris. I'm not
Yeah.
trying to be disrespectful to my fellow Lions, but does anybody know who that guy is?
Yeah.
No disrespect to this guy, because this guy right here made plays for us. El Qadin Mohammed. He made some plays for us, but do any of you random fans know who that is? Do any of you random fans know who Trevor Nowaski is? What's the point that we're making here? The point we're making is that the Lions were out there since midseason playing with third, fourth, and fifth string guys. And this is not, and some of these guys didn't make a play, so you don't see their names on the screen. I mean, the defense was just shredded. It just is what it is. And the Commanders did what they were supposed to do. They took advantage of that weak defense and they put up 45 points and came out with the win.
Yeah.
I mean, that it's just as simple as that. No, that's not an excuse. The Lions have the most, they have the most hurt defense of any playoff team going in there. That doesn't take anything away from the Commanders, but you and I have been saying for months that this was going to catch up with us. I just said on X a little bit ago, I thought it would catch up with us. I just thought it would be the NFC Championship game or the Super Bowl. But I did think the bad defense was going to catch up with us, but it just is what it is, man. You got any? What's your final thoughts, son?
Nothing really. I'm still, yeah. I don't know. I guess we guess we just need to see some big changes. I mean, not like, I just want to see some changes, I guess. I want to see some moves that makes it seem like, they're still trying to win a big time, win the big time game, I guess. I don't know. And it's like, I just feel like they got to realize, dude, okay, you guys are good and stuff. Okay. Like, you guys are actually good. Stop acting like you got to be all like surprised that you're good or like be on top of the world. Like, just take care of business. Like, it's fine to celebrate and stuff. But sometimes, like, this kind of made me realize I do understand why Bill Belichick acts how he acts now. Because it's like, why are you like, bro, like, just stay cold. Like, I don't know. Like, it just seems like, I don't know. It, like, I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they just didn't have that killer instinct. Like, we talk about the Jordan stuff. Like, yeah, like
that killer instinct.
Yeah, like, yeah.
I would agree with you, 100%. And you know what, son, you and I are we need to do a show on, what the Lions need to do going forward. We won't give it all the way now. Now, I'm going to say this to our people, our Lions fans and anybody else, because anybody else welcome to join. We're going to do a better job this off season of doing more videos. I know we should. Sometimes off season gets a little down. And I said this in our first video of the season, son. I don't think you were on it. I said, you got to forgive us because, just because we didn't do a show on the Lions cut tight end number 3, sometimes I see that I'm like, okay, that's nothing worth talking about. But you know what? We're going to have to do a little bit more. Not saying we'll do a show every day, but we'll feeling a little bit more. As for the Washington Commanders, listen, guys, hey, man, good luck to you guys next week. It is what it is. Of course, it's hard to take a loss, especially when you think your team is going to make it far. But you know what? It's done now. So they came in, they took care of business in our home. It's just what it is, man. We're gonna see what happens in 2025, and hopefully, like you just said, son, Brad Holmes doesn't play any games. Hopefully, he gets on his business, like the Ravens, like the Texans. It's another team I'm missing too that kind of went out there and made some big moves. Teams that make big moves and say, hey, we're trying to make a run in the playoffs. So hopefully, we get that too. Well, son, if you don't have anything else, to everybody listening, if you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe on YouTube. You see under my name our Twitter/X page, and we're happy to see right under my son's name, TikTok is back. I thought we were gone, but just a couple hours later, we're back on there. So follow us over there. My son does all the TikToking over there. I haven't really got into it yet, but he does all the TikToking over there. So give us a follow over there as well. All right, everybody, that's all we got. Until next time. Peace.